So here we are in Adobe After Effects. Let's create a new composition. We will call it as main animation. Width is 1920, height is 180, frame rate is 30, duration is 1 minute long, and background color is white color, and simply hit OK. Go to choose grid and guide option and simply hit on title selection. Then I'm going to select my ellipse tool, and by holding shift I'm going to create one simple ellipse. Now select this ellipse, press Ctrl Alt Home on keyboard, go to the align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically. Now after creating this ellipse, I'll select this, hit enter, and let's call it as circle. Sorry. Okay, then I'm going to select my rectangle tool. I'll zoom in a little bit and I'm going to create one rectangle like this. Select this, press Ctrl Alt Home again, and in contents we have this rectangle one. Hit Ctrl D, go to this rectangle 2, rectangle path, and unlink this, and size I'm going to choose 5, and size over here I'm going to choose 200, and change the position somewhere around over here like this. We will select this, hit enter, and let's call it as hammer. After that, select this, press Y on pen behind tool and move this anchor point over here. Okay, like this. So we have this stuff. Let's hide all of them. Now I'm going to select my text tool and I'm going to type M. I'm going to delete the stroke and I'll choose fill. I'm going to choose Poppins font, but you are free to choose whatever font you want. I'm going to select this M, press Ctrl Alt Home to align that anchor point to the center. Go to the align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically. Now select this and let's move this over here. Hit Ctrl D. I'm going to create duplicate and I'll adjust it over here. Hit Ctrl T to select your text tool and change this text to O. Select this, hit Ctrl D, press T, and let's move this over here. Select this, hit Ctrl D, let's call it as I. Select this, press P and adjust the position. Select this O, hit Ctrl D, bring this at the top, and we will move this over here. Then select this, hit Ctrl D, and let's call it as N. Select this and let's move this over here. Okay, now select all of them and let's try to adjust it properly at the center like this. Then press Ctrl Alt Home to align that anchor point to the center like this and hit U. So this is going to be my text. So let's hide them for now, or instead of that, let's do one thing. Select all of them and press P for position, create one keyframe. Then press S for scale, create one keyframe. Then press R for rotation, create another keyframe. Okay, like this. Now go to somewhere around 1.20 frames, create another keyframe like this. Then we will go to around 3.10 frames, we will create another keyframe like this on all of these three properties. Then after that, at this point over here, I'm going to adjust their position like this over here, this over here, this over here, this over here, this should be over here, and this should be over here like this. Let's move this over here. Then over here I'm going to adjust the scale also. I'm going to choose different scale for this one. Let's suppose like this, for this one like this, for this like this, for this, and for this. So it will automatically change the keyframe over here. Then I'm going to select my rotation tool. I'll select this, I'll rotate it like this one like this, this one like this, this one like this, and this one like, sorry, select this and rotate it like this. Okay, then we will go to the start, then we will select all of them and we will go to the align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically. Also this time scale I'm going to choose 10. So if you see this now, we will get this kind of animation, but which looks weird. So first of all, select all of this keyframe, right click, go to the keyframe interpolation, and we need to choose linear like this, and then hit F9. Then right click, go to the keyframe interpolation. Instead of Bezier, choose linear like this. Sorry, no. Okay, let's do one thing. Select all of them first of all and select their keyframes and hit F9. After that, only press P for position and only select position keyframes, then right click keyframe interpolation, and over here as you guys can see the spatial interpolation is auto Bezier. We need to choose linear. So now if you see, we will get something like this. Okay, now we will hit U over here, select all of this alphabet and hit U. Now first of all we will select the all of this keyframe, then we'll go to the graph editor, right click and make sure that you are in edit speed graph. Then we will select this handle. By holding shift we will move one handle over here, then select this portion and we will move one handle over here. Then we will select this much portion. By holding shift we will move one handle over here and we will move one handle over here. So if I see this animation now, we will get something like this. Now after that we need to adjust their position one by one. So let's select this one and let's move this over here, this one over here, this one over here, this two should be over here, and this one should be over here. So if I see this animation now, I'll get this kind of stuff. Okay, also go to the start over here, rotation should be 1, so we'll get something like this over here. And if you want, it's not necessary, you can make this rotation 1 again, or let's say -1. Sorry, instead of 1 you can add -1 over here. Similarly over here you can add this value -1, -1, -1, -1, and also -1. So if you see this, we will get this kind of animation. Now after that, hit U and go over here. Now we need to create stroke animations for this. So select your pen tool, then we will create one line over here and one line over here, and we need to add stroke width. So add stroke color, go to the fill, and we will make the stroke width 10 pixels like this, or let's say 5 pixels only should be good. Then I'm going to select this, hit Ctrl D, hit and select your pen tool, make sure, and you need to simply move this anchor point over, point over here. Then select this, hit Ctrl D, make sure that your pen tool is selection, and when you're gonna move your mouse pointer you can easily move it like this. Then select this, hit Ctrl D, move this over here, select this, hit Ctrl D, move this over here, select this, hit Ctrl D, move this over here like this. Then after that select this, go to the add, go to the trim path, make this trim path end value 0 initially, hit U, go over here, select this and make this end value 100. Okay, similarly start value also 100 over here, create one keyframe, go to the start value should be 0, and select those start value keyframes and move them a little bit upward. Then select those keyframes and hit F9, so you will get this kind of stuff. Then go to the graph editor, select this, by holding shift move this line over here and this line over here, so you will get this kind of stuff. And this thing should be a little bit over here like this, and you need to copy this trim path effect, select all of these layers, and with the help of open square bracket simply move this over here and hit Ctrl V, so you will get this kind of stuff. Okay, then select all of them and move this over here, and I'm going to hit page down button 2 times and adjust it over here, and I'll add one by one like this. Okay, so we will get this kind of stuff animation. Now after that make sure to select all of them and enable their motion blur. and press Ctrl Shift C, and we will call it as text animation and hit OK, and we will hide this. Now we will focus on this stuff. So select this circle, press P, create one keyframe, go to around 1 second, create another keyframe, go few frame forward, create another keyframe, and in middle of that we will simply bring this over here, go to the start and simply move this over here. Now select those keyframe, hit F9, go to the graph editor, select this graph by holding shift, move this handle over here and this handle over here, select this, move this handle over here, this handle over here, this handle over here, and move this handle over here. So if you see, we will get this kind of stuff. Then after that, select this and go to the start, press P for position, create one keyframe, go to around 1 second, create another keyframe, and we will move this over here. Okay, and we'll select this and we'll move this out of this composition. Now select those keyframe and hit F9, go to the graph editor, select this graph by holding shift, move this handle over here and this handle over here like this. Then at this point I'll press R for rotation, create one keyframe over here, I'll rotate it like this, then somewhere around this, select this first keyframe, hit Ctrl C, Ctrl V, select those rotation keyframes and hit F9, go to the graph editor, then select this graph by holding shift, move this handle over here and this handle over here, this handle over here and this handle over here. So we will get this kind of animation. Okay, and then at this point I'm going to select this text animations, and with the help of open square bracket I'll move them over here or before over here only. Okay, then select this hammer, press P, create one keyframe over here, go few frame forward and let's bring this totally downward. Then select those position keyframes, hit F9, go to the graph editor, select this graph by holding shift, we'll move one handle over here and one handle over here like this, and select this circle, uh, press Ctrl Shift D to split this, and we will delete this layer at this point like this. And if you see this hammer animation, it looks quite weird. So what you can do, another thing over here, let's select this hammer instead and select this position keyframes like this and hit just one page, I mean page down button to go one frame forward. Select this hammer, hit U and press Ctrl Shift D to split this layer, and press Ctrl Alt Home to align the anchor point to the center. Then press P for position, select all these position keyframes for this hammer, right click and choose separate dimension, create one keyframe at Y and press R for rotation. Let's delete all of this keyframe and create one keyframe, then hit U. Then we will change the X position over here and we'll move, we will go few frame forward somewhere around 3 seconds, and we will change the X position over here and add Y keyframe over here. Then at this point in middle I'll change the Y position of this over here, then select this Y position, hit F9, go to the graph editor, select this graph by holding shift, move one handle over here and one handle over here and one handle over here, select this and move one handle over here like this. Okay, similarly I'll go somewhere around over here and we need to rotate it, so I'm going to make it 2 rotation like this, so I'll get this kind of animation. So if I see this stuff now, I'll get this kind of stuff. Also similarly, make sure that you are going to enable the motion blur animation like this. Okay, now select all of them, press Ctrl Shift C and hit OK. Inside there, go select this hammer, hit U, go to the last frame and hold Alt or close square bracket to trim this up to this. Now go to the start, press S, create one keyframe somewhere around up to let's say, go over here, move this scaling keyframe over here, and let's make this 80, and let's move this up to here, 8 seconds. So along with that we will get the scale animation. Go over here and hit N, then press Ctrl Y to create one solid background and bring this backward. Then, or instead of complete white background, I'll press Ctrl Shift Y to open the solid settings. I'll choose a little bit amount of gray in that color. You can select this, you can go to the effect and presets panel and apply for drop shadow effect, and simply double click to apply. Increase the distance to 20, softness to 100, and opacity to 20. Okay, and the color of this, instead of black, select this bluish version of it and choose somewhere around like this. Okay, so there is not too much of drop shadow effect. We will get this kind of simple animation. So this is how you can create this kind of creative text animation inside of After Effects.